Carly Fiorina is apparently having some problems getting people to appear on stage with her for photo ops. Consensually, I should say. She's finding a way around that, though. She's just kidnapping kids now. So she was at a botanical garden in Des Moines, and she wanted to put on a little pro-life demonstration, but she wants some kids on the stage, so she found a group of school kids that were at the garden and just took them and put them on the stage for a pro-life rally.
They look like they're very interested.
A gigantic aborted fetus. Supposedly, with her, you never know. That could be anything. She doesn't have any obligation to the facts.
No, those kids look like they woke up this morning and said, you know what, I'd like to go down to the Botanical Gardens and make a statement about abortion.
Yes.
I
Look,
think they
it's
did.
bad enough that they have to go to the Botanical Gardens. Now they have to hang out with Carly Fiorina. Worst field trip ever. So look, you might say, well, maybe they wanted to be involved in this. No, the parents weren't actually consulted.
No.
Chris Beck, the father of one of the 4-year-olds there, we don't know the 4-year-old's position on abortion, but he says the kids went there to see the plants. She ambushed my son's field trip. Taking them into a pro-life abortion discussion was very poor taste and judgment.
Wow.
I would not want my 4-year-old going to that forum. He can't fully comprehend that stuff. He doesn't understand some of the specifics about like 20-week bans versus 16-week bans. He likes dinosaurs, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Transformers. All of those, by the way, have a greater chance of becoming president than Carly Fiorina. Raphael for president.
Let me. So there was not one single adult at the Botanical Gardens that day that said, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing?
Well, I'm sure there's a chaperone, but when a presidential candidate comes up and says, you're coming with me and has staffers, I mean, what are they going to do? Push her away? Assault?
If I was the chaperone,
Assault
I would.
a crazy woman?
I would say, no,
you should.
I would see, because we're thinking that way. So that's what I was wondering. You're in Iowa. I don't know what the political leanings are of the chaperones, the teachers, whoever's there, other parents. Because a lot of times on field trips, as we know, parents come, some do. And so, especially with preschoolers. So on that field trip, there must have been some that they saw this approach and went, oh, this would be cool. Not thinking, even whether they support her or not, because I think also that particular parent, they asked him later, they said, do you know much about Fiorina? He said, I hadn't given her much thought, but I'm definitely not voting for her now. But even outside of that, some of these idiots were like, oh, this will be fun they can appear on stage. We can tell their parents about it later.
Might not
Be like,
have known
you
it was
know your
abortion.
kid was on stage with a presidential candidate? Think of the moments. Because that's how he found out. One of the chaperones or someone with the school told him, hey, you know, your kid was on stage. Wasn't that great? And then the reaction was bad.
Yeah.
And they went, maybe I should have kept this to myself. So they thought it was a cool event. They thought it'd be fun.
Yeah.
So when you think about it, and behind them, I don't know if we had another picture of the scene. Behind them is a huge picture of a fetus.
Yeah, 4-month-old fetus.
Yeah, I don't know if you're probably going to get to it, but someone else got on stage with
Someone
a
else.
figurine.
Yeah.
I think you were getting to that, John.
Yes.
Yeah. So they had a figurine of a fetus sucking its thumb, to imply that therefore it doesn't matter what the Supreme Court said 40 years ago. You don't
look,
actually have
this
the right
is
to
the
abortion.
face of death, or something like that.
Exactly.
Of course, you're gonna get horrific when you're trying to.
I think she's also against the Family and Medical Leave Act. I'm gonna guess she's against that. I'm gonna guess she's against funding Head Start. I'm gonna guess she's against all those things that would help those kids.
She wants the kids to have life. Shitty life.
Shitty life, and move to Flint, Michigan, and drink lead water because it saves us a nickel.
Yeah, look, I think this is all sad, but I think the saddest part might be, so she gets all those kids on stage, and then the kids are like, this is amazing. I feel like kind of a celebrity. Like, maybe I can get involved in politics. And then she went back to her instincts, and she fired all of them. Threw them out on the street.
I was reading
she's a terrible, terrible candidate.
I was reading about this exploitation of 4-year-olds for an abortion rally. I was reading about
that's
this.
Crazy that's a sentence.
Yeah, if you say it out loud, then you really realize how ridiculous this was. And we should allow this. I'm sorry.
4-year-olds that she doesn't even know. It's not
She doesn't know 'em.
It's not like her family. It's not like I have my nieces and nephews or my grandkids around me. There's somebody else's kids.
Yeah.
I'm going to put on stage with pictures of aborted fetuses. So The Guardian covered this, and I was reading this story in The Guardian, and they had referred to, her. She's now famous for her stances on the Planned Parenthood edited doctored videos that have been debunked. The Guardian referred to them, I swear to God, as disputed videos.
I know, that pissed me off too.
Disputed.
They're not disputed. It's not
They're
disputed.
not disputed. They've been debunked. Those are two different things.
She lied.
She lied about them. The guy who put them together admitted that they're fucking phony videos.
Yeah.
The guy who put them together admitted
Well, no,
it.
but
so
even
they're not
that,
disputed anymore.
It's not just that
Nobody
the stuff
disputes.
in the video wasn't what it was supposed to be. Is that she was referring to stuff that wasn't even in the edited version.
Yes. So,
and
why would I thought the Guardian is like a lefty progressive newspaper. It turns out there's a lot of bad stuff in there.
Yeah. I guess you're not allowed to just say, yeah, she said that she saw something, but we looked into it and she was fucking lying.
And that's why.
Why not write that?
And why do people get their news from YouTube? Because we frame it properly.
Yeah.
Because we don't kowtow to bullshit, which is exactly what I like the Guardian. I think they do good work most of the time. But then even there you go, God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's sad. But good news, she's at like 1.5%. And so she won't be in the campaign for much
Okay,
longer.
when you say 1.5%, I read that line too. If I'm polling at 1.5%, I know it's just in Iowa. I'm thinking, okay, I'm just going to stay in this as long as possible. She doesn't really think she's going to win. No one thinks they're going to jump up from 1.5 and then get the nomination. So at this point, I'm thinking I'm staying in as long as I can so my speaker fees go up and this book I write, the next two books I write go up. That's the point, right?
Yeah.
Stop using other people. You're not going to win. Don't get yourself in more trouble. Just kind of fly at where you are on the radar, low. And just chill out. I don't get doing this. Like, you don't have to go balls out because you're not close.
Yeah, you don't have to go
Ted
crazy.
Cruz has to go balls out. Even Marco Rubio still has to go balls out. Even Jeb Bush, just because of his name, has to go balls out. But he's not close to winning. At this point, just chill.
Just chill out, yeah. Cut her a break. Maybe she thinks there's still time for Donald Trump and Ted Cruz to crater and she could blow up. Yeah, but it's probably about the books. I hear she's actually working on a kid's book. It's filled with illustrations that she stole from those kids.